Добрый вечер.
Good evening.
Здравствуйте.
Hello.
Наверное, так получилось, я несколько раньше
It
вышел.
so happened that I stepped onto the stage a bit earlier, that it is not yet fully prepared.
Я поздравляю
But I would like
компанию
to
Novatec и
congratulate
всех партнеров с
Novatec and
наступающим
all of its
Новым годом.
partners on the forthcoming
Желаю
year.
вам,
And I would
естественно,
like to
счастья, радости,
naturally
здоровья.
wish to you health, happiness.
Я желаю каждому
And
из
I
вас,
would
пусть
wish
в этом
to
новом
every
году
one of
у
you
вас случится что-то
in the
новое,
new year
такое,
to have
какого не было
something new
никогда.
happening,
Но,
something
безусловно,
that
очень
never
хорошее.
ever happened before, but something that is really, really good.
Вы знаете, приглашение в такую
You know,
компанию,
being
корпоративную
invited
Новый
to
год, и с таким предложением
perform
для меня
at a corporate New
неожиданно,
Year's party
но
turned out to
приятно
be an unexpected one, but a very pleasant.
прийти и
I
прочитать
mean to say,
Довлатова.
just to
Ну хорошо, вот я
come
пришел.
and
Довлатов.
recite Dovlatov. So here I
Сергей
am,
Довлатов.
Sergei Dovlatov.
Встретились,
We've met, we had a chat.
все считали его
Everybody
неудачником.
thought him to be a loser.
Даже фамилия у
Even
него была
his
такая,
family name was like that,
легкомысленная.
some kind of a frivolous one, ein Kopfer.
Такая фамилия полагается
This kind of a
невзрачному,
name
близорукому
becomes to
человеку,
an
склонному
inconspicuous
рефлексии.
people who is short-sighted, reflecting about himself, and ein Kopfer was exactly this kind of person. In school, they simply managed not to notice him at all. Teachers during the open classes were talking to parents only about the high performers and low graders. A mediocre pupil like ein Kopfer wasn't mentioned for more than 1 minute. And Kopfer didn't participate in any performances, he couldn't draw, he couldn't write poems, even he was reading poems without expression. He never attended PE exercises because he was exempt because of being flat-footed. What it's all about is a mystery. I simply think that it's a pretext not to do physical exercises. The singing teacher was telling him, you don't have any voice, and somehow you don't have a heart either. So the teacher raised his eyebrows solemnly and said, so what is it that you are singing with? And Kopfer.
Общественной работой Головкин не
Community
занимался.
work, he didn't do any.
Театр ходить не
He
любил.
didn't like to go to
На
a
пионерских
theatre.
собраниях
At
Головкина
the
спрашивали,
Young Communist
чем ты
Scouts meeting,
увлекаешься?
he was asked,
Чему
what
уделяешь
is your
свободное
hobby?
время?
What are
Может,
you
что-нибудь
dedicating your pastime
коллекционируешь,
to? Are you
Головкин?
gathering something for a collection? Yes,
Вяло отвечал
he
Головкин.
would respond feebly. So what is it? Well,
Что
some
именно?
things. What exactly?
Деньги.
Money.
Ты копишь деньги?
Are you saving money? Yes.
Зачем?
What for?
Ну, то есть как зачем?
I mean, what do you mean what
Хочу
for?
купить.
I want to buy something.
Что?
What?
Да.
Just
Одну
something.
вещь. Какую? Ответь,
What kind of
коллектив
thing?
тебя
Please
спрашивает.
tell us. You know, we're all curious.
Зимнее пальто.
A winter coat,
Отвечал Головкин.
answered
Закончил
Kopfer.
школу.
When he
Головкин
finished school,
вступил в институт.
Ein Kopfer
Тогда
went to
считалось, что
university. It
единственная
was believed
дорога
then
в
that
жизни.
that was the only proper journey in life. Everywhere admission was a real struggle. So Ein Kopfer was very thoughtful. He submitted his application to the university where there was no competition, and specifically into the sanitation and hygiene university, where he studied for 6 years. In the very same inconspicuous way, never performed,
Провокационных вопросов
never
некоторым не
raised provocative
задавал.
questions to
Девушек
lectures,
избегал,
he avoided
вина
having
не пил,
affairs with girls, never drank any wine, and was totally indifferent to sports.
Когда Головкин
So
женился,
when Ein
все
Kopfer
были
got married,
поражены.
everybody was amazed.
Уже очень мало выделялся
Because
Головкин, чтобы
he
стать
was
для кого-то единственным и
Completely
незаменимым.
unnoticeable in order to become the one and only one for somebody. It seemed that Ein Kopfer couldn't be the subject of choice, couldn't be preferred by anyone.
Совершенно не
Kopfer
было индивидуальных качеств.
Didn't have any individuality, but nevertheless he got married.
Лиза Маковская
Lisa
была
Makovskaya.
его абсолютной
She was
противоположностью.
his absolute antitype. She was red-haired, sassy, very attractive. She smoked. She spoke bad language every time, and she was singing in the faculty jazz band. Always around her were athletic-looking, smartly dressed young men. Everybody was courting Lisa, but she never married. And in her 5th year in university, she had a baby. The little girl looked like her mother, and also she looked like the deputy Young Communist League chapter, responsible for ideology. In short, Lisa became a problematic woman. She was always speaking with cynicism and irritation. By 25, she was completely disappointed in life. And there comes Ein Kopfer. Very silent, very shy. He brought her not flowers, but fruits and vegetables for the baby. He never demonstrated that he was being attracted to her. Small house chores he performed impeccably. One time they were having tea with marmalade. The girl was sleeping behind the fabric screen, so Ein Kopfer stood up and Lisa told him the introduction is somehow getting too long. Where they have to go to bed, go apart. With pleasure, replied Ein Kopfer, but maybe next time. I can stay Friday or Saturday. No, it should be now, Lisa stated with irritation. I want it now. I do too, simply replied Ein Kopfer. And after that, I shall stay if you could give me 1 ruble for taxi. I will pay it back to you, of course. So that was the way they became man and wife. The man was an inspector of hygiene in the public catering authority, while the wife, having placed her child in the kindergarten, went to work at a factory at the local infirmary. And after that, scandals began. Without any reason at all. Simply, Ein Kopfer was quite content with life, while Lisa was not. Ein Kopfer bought a color TV on a deferred payment and wardrobe. He bought a fish tank in a pet store, started thinking about buying condominium, but Lisa was saying, what for? What does it change? And then, is this it? Because the years are flying by. Lisa, as they say, she was thinking about life. When taking her hands away from laundry or soon, she would say, what is it all for? Well, all right. I will eat another 2,000 cakes. I will wear 12 pairs of shoes, 2 holes. I will go to the Baltic Sea resort a dozen times. But the Ein Kopfer never thought about such serious things. He would ask, why the Baltic Spa resort is not good enough for you? He was not thinking. He simply was living and enjoying it. Only once Ein Kopfer became pensive, and that lasted for more than 40 minutes. And then he said, Lisa, listen to me. When I was a student, on my first year, Dima Fogel wrote an epigram. Ein Kopfer's butt is his disdain. It's 3 times larger than his brain. Can you hear me? I took it as an offense, but right now I thought that it's okay. The butt should be bigger than your brain. 3 times, exactly. I took the measurements. And so you, asked Lisa. I've been thinking about it for 5 years. No, it just came to my head today. In 12 months, Lisa was despising him. In 3 years, she hated him. Ein Kopfer felt it. He tried not to irritate her. In the evenings, he would watch the TV or would help his neighbor to repair his old Lada car. Rarely they slept together. Every time it was her unexpected caprice. It all ended up in tears. And then immigration started. First, it applied only to people they didn't know. Later on, friends started living a little bit later, co-workers and close friends. The Jews, as they say, raised their heads. In half-tone they were conversating with each other, rustling with the pieces of cigarette paper. Amongst them, some special documents were circulating, some kind of internal information was changing hands. They started having some kind of their own dealings. And that was when Ein Kopfer transformed all of a sudden. First, nonchalantly, he stated, let's leave. And then he started speaking more seriously about it, stating some kind of arguments, quoting text from the letters of some man called Gabi. Lisa said, I'm not leaving. My mom is here. I mean, her grave. Here is everything I treasure. There's Hermitage here. Yes, the one that you didn't go for the past 10 years, but I can go there next Saturday. And finally, I'm Russian. Do you understand? I am Russian. You should have started out with this, responded Ein Kopfer, and shut up offensively, as if he forced his wife to admit committing a crime. And so Ein Kopfer left
Его
him.
отъезд,
His
как это
departure,
чаще всего
as
бывает,
very often it
слегка
happens,
напоминал развод.
resembled a divorce.
Иммиграция выявила странную
Immigration
особенность,
demonstrated
а может быть,
a strange
закономерность.
peculiarity, or maybe
Развестись
causality.
люди почему-то не
Somehow
могли.
people couldn't get
Разъехаться
divorced.
по двум
To separate and
разным
live in two
квартирам было
different
трудно, а вот
apartments,
по
it was
разным
difficult,
странам
but to go and live in two different countries, it was much easier.
Поэтому в эмиграции
And
так много
so,
одиноких.
that is why you meet so
Причем
many
как
singles in
мужчин,
immigration, both
так и женщин.
women and men,
В зависимости от того,
depending upon
кто
who
инициатор
filed
развода.
for divorce.
3 месяца Головкин жил
For
в
3
Италии.
months, Nkopfer lived in Italy,
Переехал в
and then
Соединенные
he
Штаты.
went on to
В
the
Америке
United States.
он
In America,
неожиданно
all of a sudden,
пришелся ко двору.
he took like duck
На
to
родине
water.
особенно ценились
Back at
полоумные
home,
герои и беспутные
Crazy
классы.
heroes
В
and
Америке
useless talents were having respect. In America, law-abiding taxpayers and hard workers.
Головкин пошел
So
на курсы
Nkopfer
английского
applied
языка.
for the English language courses.
Научился
He
водить
learned to
машину.
drive a car.
Работал
He
массажистом,
worked as a masseur,
курьером,
as a
сторожем.
courier, as a night
Год
guard.
послужил
For a year,
car-сервис.
he worked in a car
Ухаживал за
service.
кроликами
He
на ферме.
attended to rabbits on a
Подметал на
farm.
специальной машине
He
территорию
drove a
аэропорта.
special sweeping vehicle in an airport. First, he bought a taxi medallion, and then he bought a piece of land next to the Delaware River. In another year, he bought his own apartment on Lefferts Boulevard.
Такси он сдал в аренду.
He leased his taxi out, he resold a piece of land, some of the proceeds he put into a term deposit. For the remaining 14,000 he bought a share in the Alibaba restaurant. He lived in a good neighborhood. He bought his suits at Bloomingdale's. He drove the Oldsmobile Regency.
По отношению к женщинам Головкин вел себя любезно.
Golovkin behaved with good manners towards women. He invited them to good and expensive restaurants. He gave them presents, lingerie and cosmetics. He never rushed them. Nkopfer respected Americans and he was very shy. He preferred compatriot women without children. He never thought about getting married. 3 times he went to Europe. Once he went to Israel. Twice he traveled to Canada. He was selling houses, apartments, land lots. He was having a good business, excellent business. So he was almost a born sales agent, a representative of other people's interests, a man without personality. There is a short joke that somebody's calling a sales agent and asks him, "Do you like Brahms?" At the same time, Nkopfer was very accommodating, very self-respectful, a very rare combination. As far as Elisa was concerned, he never wrote to her, she never wrote back, because it was very difficult to send a letter from one world to another, from one planet to another. But he was helping her. And the daughter, first he was sending her parcels by the mail, later on he limited himself to money transfers. That was normal, because they were divorced. And the daughter was an adopted one, although she was exactly the one who Nkopfer remembered. For example, the way he was lacing up her tiny shoes, or the way his fingers were slipping from the little buttons when he was helping her to put on her bra, or the way he was shaking her up to straighten her pantyhose. He never recalled Lisa. She turned into some kind of an invisible institution, into something material but faceless, some kind of an internal revenue service. And later on, all of a sudden, everything changed. Nkopfer had this fixated idea, not gradually, but all of a sudden. And one day, Nkopfer even remembered when it happened between 1 and 2 p.m. on 17th August 1986. Nkopfer was riding his car to the office. He just finished a very good deal. His fee was $12,000. His car was smoothly gliding along the paved highway. Nkopfer had the light green flannel suit. Kent's cigarette was emitting smoke from his left hand, and all of a sudden he saw himself through somebody else's eyes. It happens sometimes, and specifically through the eyes of his ex-wife. There he was, riding behind the wheel of his own car, a well-to-do businessman, and his consciousness was clear. His wallet was bulging with money. In a cozy office, a nice-looking secretary was waiting for him. He was fit. Blood sugar? He didn't even know what it was all about. He was good, smooth, lotion skin, expensive shoes, not tight at all. And there was Lisa,
смотрит на этого
looking at
человека
this person
и думает,
and thinking to herself,
какое
what
сокровище
a
я
treasure
потеряла.
I
Вот
lost.
так и появилась у
That was the
Головкина
way
навязчивая
Kopfer
идея, а
had
именно,
this
что он
fixation,
должен
i.e.,
встретиться
that
с
he
женой.
must see his wife.
Она поймет,
She will understand, and she will be convinced.
только спросит,
And
ну,
he would simply ask, so,
как?
how is it?
И все.
And that would be it.
И больше
And
ничего
not
слова.
a single word
Ну
more.
как?
How is it?
Головкин представлял
And
себе
Kopfer
момент
imagined
возвращения.
himself a moment when he was coming back on a plane, getting into the hotel, renting a car, changing $1,000 on an exchange rate, maybe even 2 or 3, and then calling and saying, Lisa, this is me. What do you mean, who? Do you recognize me? Yes, I'm just traveling by. Honestly, I'm very busy, although I'm free today. Sorry for my English accent. They're sitting in a good restaurant, and Kopfer orders a poultry, to Lisa something lighter, for himself a little bit of an asparagus, mousse, cognac. I prefer cordon bleu. Armenian? All right, bring it to me. So Kopfer takes Lisa home. He steps out of the car, opens the door. Well, all right, goodbye. And then, oh, yes, I've got some presents. So he hands to Lisa over a sapphire necklace. This is your stone, you know. And then a plastic bag with a blue sheepskin Canadian coat, a school computer for Olga, a bag with woolen things, and then a pair of shoes, and then softly asked, can I leave some money with you? Just about 1,500, 2,000, very symbolic. So he pushes an envelope into her hands, and she, would you come in? And he says, I'm sorry, tomorrow I've got a business meeting. I'm thinking about a very modest franchise, something like cotton manufacturing, or maybe electronics. I'm interested in the market. Lisa, the market? You mean the farmer's market at the Nekrasovsky place? And Kopfer is smiling. No, I mean the sales market, Lisa. In the evening, Lisa is sitting in his hotel room, and Kopfer takes the house phone. Champagne, please. And then you just live through the magazine. I need to make a few phone calls. Hello, Mr. Belyaev. This is Kopfer speaking. The representatives of the Doral agency. The glass of champagne is empty, and Lisa is asking, should I stay? He softly responds, it's not really worth it. In this Puritan country, Lisa interrupts him, you don't love me anymore? And Kopfer, don't ask me that. It is too late. So they're strolling along the embankment, they're going into the Hermitage Museum, looking at the Italian masters, and then Kopfer says, I think I could buy this Greenwich Tintoretto. I think I should ask the Bolsheviks, maybe they have something for sale. Thoughts of meeting his wife were relentless. It was very strange. Everything was supposed to be in a different way. For the first few years, usually people miss their family, and then they start gradually forgetting them. And then only certain shapes of memories, very vague shapes of memories over the memory horizons. And that is it. And Kopfer had everything in a different way. He never remembered Lisa to start with, and then he started occasionally thinking about her, and finally he started thinking about his ex-wife continuously, with excitement, the kind which surprised him, the one which frightened him. He was not thinking about love. It was not about the repentance of his ex-wife, and Kopfer was thinking about the supremacy of justice, logic, and order. So there he was strolling along the Nevsky Prospect, entering into the private restaurant, looking around, going down the menu, and then quietly saying, let's get out of here. And not a single word more. Thought about Russia became relentless. The imaginary scenes were changing one after another. A whole series of emotions dawned upon Kopfer. Surprise, irritation, condescension. He vividly remembered various statements, let's say, at the front door of some kind of a building he was passing by. I'm sorry? And what does this mean? Or if there was some household inconvenience. The Bolsheviks really make me wonder. Or when reading a menu, I suppose the prices here are listed in rubles. Or when somebody would be talking about the current government, I hope that Gorbachev is cynical enough, at least, because an idealist in power is a catastrophe. Or if somebody would be talking about America, America is not a paradise, but if this is hell, this is the best hell in the world. Or if somebody would be talking about an abstract situation, if something happens of a surprising nature. Fantastic! I think I should definitely share it with my friend Phil Carey. He had statements prepared for all kinds of occasions. When walking out of a distant restaurant, and Kopfer would say, "This is no longer a boorish place, but the quality of service leaves much to be desired." When walking out of a bad restaurant, he would say, "I don't remember something like that happening to me even in Shanghai." And Kopfer would always be murmuring something, waving his hands about, or laughing, confusing English and Russian words. He would all of a sudden become pensive and silent. He would smoke one cigarette after another. And then he understood that he has to go. Simply apply for a visa and buy a ticket. It will cost about $4,000, including the airfare, hotel, gifts and presents, and incidentals. The times currently were quite liberal. There shouldn't be any provocation. Money was available for that. Applying for the documents took 3 weeks. He ordered the ticket for the 14th of September. He was shopping around, selecting gifts and presents. It turned out that he had very few friends and acquaintances. His parents in Slovakia had passed out. His cousin's sister lived in Kazan. His university mates, he never wrote to them. The names of his schoolmates he completely forgot. Only Lisa and the daughter remained. Little Olga was supposed to turn 13. And Kopfer? It's not that he loved that very sad-looking, fragile girl. He'd grown used to her, particularly since she was the only one in the world who showed respect to her. When her mother was punishing her, she would say, "Uncle Boris, please buy me some poison." And Kopfer has grown attached to the girl because the motherly and fatherly love are very different. Mother, in the first place, has this blood bond, while father has this spiritual attachment. Fathers prefer the kind of children who are next to them, even if they're not their own, because wicked stepfathers is something that you rarely see compared to wicked stepmothers. Even the fairy tales tell us that. So he bought a coat to Lisa and shoes. To Olga, a genuine fur coat and a laptop for school. Shirts, shoes, some underwear, some kind of souvenirs, pants, radio systems, couple of watches. In short, he had 2 suitcases brimming with gifts. And Kopfer was able to change money based on the 1-to-6 exchange rate, and Kopfer gave some kind of Mr. Fajbushevsky about $700, and in Leningrad, a lady by the name of Musa was supposed to give him 4,000 rubles instead, and Kopfer flew the American air carrier. As usual, he felt himself a well-to-do traveler, and nonchalantly ordered a shot of gin, blue jeans and tonic. He jokingly asked. The hostess asked him, "Are you from Poland?" And Kopfer thought to himself, "Am I speaking with a Russian accent still?" So, in the airport of Leningrad, he didn't like it. Everything seemed to be grey and monotonous, maybe because of no advertising billboards. And it was the first time he came there, so it happened. For 32 years he lived in the place, but never traveled by plane. And Kopfer thought, "What am I feeling having stepped back on my homeland?" And he realized nothing special. He was accommodated in the Oktyabrsk hotel. Soon, the lady by the name of Musa came, very nervous and continuously looking around. She left a plastic bag with money for him, and Kopfer felt fear, fatigue, and excitement. For more than 1 hour, he spent in a hotel, but never dared to call Lisa. Something stopped him and frightened him. It was for so long that Kopfer was waiting for this, maybe for all the past years, maybe everything that he had been doing and did was only aimed at Lisa, at getting her attention. If that was the case, thought Ankopfer to himself. How many things in life fly by you. You leave and you don't know what is it all for. What are you making money for? What are you buying property for? What is the reason for switching to speaking English? Ankopfer looked at his watch. It was 10:30. He remembered the telephone number, 416, and then 156. Everything was correct. 4 cubed. He totally forgot mathematics, but he remembered the telephone number, 416, and then the same 16 squared, 156. Stunned by this awareness, Ankopfer heard the telephone ringing in his own apartment. Once, twice, third time. Who is this? Lisa asked. And in a second, please pick up. And then, in a slow voice, he said, is this the Ankopfer's apartment? Lisa, do you recognize me? Wait a second, he heard, I'm going to turn my kettle down. And then silence for the whole minute, and then some kind of simple non-binding words. Have you come? I hope that everything is legal. What do you mean? Yes, all right. She's visiting swimming pool. How are you doing? Are you traveling? Ankopfer was silent and then answered, export, import. You shouldn't be interested in this. I'm thinking about a little franchise like cotton manufacturing. And then he asked as nonchalantly as he could, I heard that we could see each other. And to be more emphatic said, I must give something to you and to Olga. He wanted to say that I've got 2 suitcases with gifts, but he changed his mind. I'm going to work tomorrow, said Lisa. In the evening, Olga is invited to go to the Nahimaskis. The day before after she's having rehearsals. Have you come here for long? Call me on Thursday, she said. Lisa, she intoned in long-forgotten, pitiful voice. It's not yet 10 p.m. We haven't seen each other for so many years. I have 2 suitcases with presents. Can I come? By car. We have a problem with that. What do you mean? I will take, not a taxi, I will lease a car, I will take a rental. So he comes in, imagine Ankopfer, to the car rental, and he hears, we're servicing only foreigners. So Ankopfer is smiling to himself. Well, you see, I know that, I'm telling you, says the car rental person, only foreigners. Do you understand Russian? With difficulty, responds Ankopfer and switches to English. Lisa is saying, what do you mean? Of course, come. Although, you know, I have to go to bed early. And by the way, where are you? At the Oktyabrskaya Hotel. That will take you 40 minutes. Lisa, well, all right. I'm waiting for you. But I'm not going to wake Olga up. So the usual Soviet problems started happening because the car rental was closed. It was not possible to hail a taxi cab. Some kind of a private taxi cab took American cigarette from Ankopfer and drove away, leaving him behind. So he made it at midnight. At a quarter to 12, to be more exact. He rang the bell, the door opened. His ex-wife was sounding a bit guiltily. Well, come in. You didn't really change, but honestly, I have to wake up very early. Well, come in. Take a seat. Do you want some coffee? You didn't even change. You are wearing a hat. Well, this is Borsellino's. Desperately uttered Ankopfer, and then he took this funny pistachio-colored hat away. Do you want some coffee? Never mind. Olga is asleep. I'm really working my feet off. I'm soon going to go, he said. Ankopfer, it's not about it. You know, life is becoming more difficult. Glasnost, that is Troika. People are excited. They're waiting for something to happen. If Gorbachev goes, we won't be able to survive. He said, gifts, thank you. Please leave them in the other room. Do you need your suitcases back? Send it to me by mail. All of a sudden, Ankopfer smiled back. No, I'm seriously. Just tell me, how are you? Are you married? He asked this question with a forced smile. There's no time. Do you want some coffee? Where do you get it? Nowhere. Why are you not married? It's life, you see. There are sufficient men around, and everybody's dying to spend some time with me, but getting married is a serious thing. Are you not married? I am not. Well, how's it in America? Kopfer happily uttered the phrase he prepared in advance. Well, you know, it's really great to respect the country where you live, not just to love but respect it. Silence. Maybe you will take a look at the things I brought. I want to make sure that the size fit. All sizes fit us, said Lisa, because we're sizeless. Well, but generally speaking, thank you very much. Another person would forget about their lemonade. This is not a lemonade, said Kopfer. This is just for you and Olga. Well, you know the way they call you these days? Who? You. Like you. Who do you mean? The immigrants. Who calls us? I mean, the newspapers are writing about you. Our foreign competitors, as well as the persons due to many reasons who ended up being abroad. And again silence. Another minute, and he will have to go. Desperately, Kopfer says, Lisa. Well, Kopfer for a few seconds was silent again, and then all of a sudden, well, if you want, let's have a dance. What do you mean? I've got a radio set in the suitcase. Are you crazy? Olga's asleep. Kopfer frantically was thinking, how else can you court a woman? The gifts are behind the door, it's too late to go to the restaurant, she doesn't want to dance, and all of a sudden he uttered, I think I'll go. Already? Well, it's soon 1 a.m. I hope you call me back. Tomorrow, I've got a business meeting. I'm thinking about a certain franchise. But nevertheless, you call me, and thank you very much for the gift for the suitcases. It was not that for the suitcases he felt offended, but for the suitcases with gifts, but he didn't say anything. Well, I think I'll go. Don't be offended. I'm just falling off my feet. So Lisa saw him out. She stepped out onto the staircase. Goodbye. My foreign compatriot. A person who ended up being abroad. Kopfer steps out into the street. At first he felt that it started raining, but it was just a fog, which was very thickly spread yellow lamppost lights. Then there was a light-filled bus coming from around the corner. It really didn't matter where it was going, wherever, a bus could go from the outskirts of the city, downtown. So he steps on the bus, walks down the corridor, and hears the voice of the driver. Next station is Ropshinskaya. Kopfer steps out, finds himself in between an empty place and an endless brick wall, and there in the far distance there are shadows over the buildings with an effervescent rosy and yellow windows, and he hears the sound of ticking like coming from a big clock. It smells of weed and a hospital toilet. The Kopfer smoked his last cigarette. It took him 1 hour to hail a taxi. A nice-looking driver says, double rate? Kopfer mechanically translates his words into the double tax. Why? He should not really ask, because he's got enough rubles. On his way, the driver started talking to Kopfer about new businesses, calling names of some kind of a new king, but Kopfer was keeping mum. He was thinking. It seemed, he thought to himself, that somebody took him for a foreigner for the first time. Then he paid the driver, gave him